You made it back. Okay, well, we've been talking about all sorts of different kinds of weather. We talked about yesterday worm weather, where it was raining and the worms came out. It can be sunshiny, it can be cloudy, it can be stormy, and that happens a lot in the spring because the temperatures are changing and there's a lot of moisture in the air. Today we're going to read a book called Just a Big Storm by Mercer Meyer. And if you look, sometimes this happens when storms come through, but what are they holding in their hands? Flashlights and lanterns. Has the power ever gone out at your house because a storm came through? Sometimes that happens, and it can be kind of scary, especially if it's dark outside. But hopefully you guys have flashlights or lanterns at your house or candles. My mom used to light candles when we would have flashlights too and maybe make a fort. But sometimes it was really fun to not do flashlights, and my mom would light candles in one room, and we all got to kind of camp out by candlelight at night. So, okay, let's go ahead and start. We are turning to our title page, and this is another clue to kind of what this book is about, because look at what they are doing in that picture. They are bringing all of their things that could blow away in a storm inside. And I'm pretty sure living in Kansas, all of us have had to do that. We had to go outside and get all of the toys that might blow away, get the cushions off of your lawn chairs so those don't blow away, maybe an umbrella, bring them inside. A storm was coming, and we saw dark clouds and lightning in the distance. Let's check the weather channels, said Mom. The weather critter said, a big storm with lightning, rain, and hail will pass right over Critterville. We better get ready for anything, Dad said. We may lose power. So Dad checked all the flashlights. It's always good to be prepared. Little sister and I got water in buckets for the toilet. We put up a sign that read, remember, pour water in the tank before you flush. We filled up pots at the sink for drinking water, and we put a sign on the fridge, do not open. Some of the things that might happen if the power goes out is that your refrigerator can't keep cold anymore because it's not turned on. So your mom or dad might tell you not to get into the refrigerator because you'd let all the cold air out, and then that food would get hot in there. And they had to fill their toilet tank up with water because I guess their toilet stopped flushing. Then we rescued stuff from our yard. The wind began to blow, and it blew harder and harder, and it began to rain too. I saw our neighbor's garbage can fly right past our window. Has that ever happened to you guys? Have your garbage cans ever flown away before? Sometimes it doesn't have to be stormy, it just has to be windy. Suddenly the power went out, and it was getting dark, and we couldn't turn on a light. So Mom and Dad got out battery-powered lanterns, and everyone had their own flashlight. The wind was cold, so Dad built a fire in the wood stove, and we made knots out of newspaper to start a fire. We found an old phone in the closet and plugged it into the wall. Did you know old phones work sometimes when you have no power? That would be a good tip in case maybe your cell phone battery was dead and you couldn't charge it. If you had an old phone around, you could plug it in. I called some of my friends, and they didn't have any power either. I asked Mom and Dad if I could have everyone come over for a sleepover, but Mom and Dad said no, which I don't think was fair. Even though it might have been fun to have his friends over for a sleepover, It would have been too dangerous for them to come out. We baked potatoes in the wood stove and made grilled cheese with a pie iron. I was careful and didn't touch the hot stove. We played board games by lantern light. This is just like camping, I said. So they're kind of having a fun time. We got sleeping bags and all slept on the living room floor, and Dad told ghost stories. There was lots of thunder and lightning. I wasn't scared. I snuggled really close to my mom just in case. Lightning and thunder, it can be scary. Even I get scared sometimes of the lightning and thunder. We couldn't sleep, so Mom read a book to us. Dad fell asleep first. When we woke up, our power was back on, and we saw the power company critters working on the electrical poles. That was pretty neat. I was sad that it was all over, but Mom and Dad were happy. They said they wanted to take showers. Why would they want to do that? Our phone rang, and it was Grandma and Grandpa. They were worried about us. Grandma, it wasn't so bad, I said. It was just a big storm. So he was pretty brave, and they made the best out of that situation because it can be a little bit scary, like we said. But we've talked about this before in class. Who can we call on if we are scared about something? God. God is always there. Remember we would do different kinds of drills in school, and sometimes when we got really scared, we said, you can always talk to Jesus and Mary and the saints in your brain, so you can always tell them what you're thinking. Like if you were in a storm and you were really scared of the thunder, even though God knows what's going on, He wants to hear you tell Him, and He wants to help you with that. So you can say things to Him like, God, I'm really scared right now because the thunder is so loud, and I don't like it when the lightning flashes and the power went out, and now I just don't know. Maybe you're scared because you're like, I don't know how we're going to eat dinner. The stove isn't on. I don't know what we're going to do to cook dinner. So you can tell Him anything, and then God will be there with you. And like we talked about with St. Faustina, really good thing that you can say is, Jesus, I trust in you. Because no matter what happens, God is in control. He can make things happen. He can let things happen. He never makes anything bad happen. But sometimes He lets things happen, and then He does something really good from that. And so we can just say, Jesus, I trust in you. And if you keep saying that, you're like, God, make me brave. Jesus, I trust in you. They will not leave you. He'll be with you all the time. You can say your Hail Marys. You can ask Mary to be with you. Her and Jesus and God the Father and the Holy Spirit, they're all there like a little family. They want to be there with you and comfort you and protect you. And so, anyway, so the next time it storms, we'll be prepared. We know what to do. All right, I will see you over in my prayer corner for our Jesus.